Hi everybody, this is Boog S Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a Throwback Thursday review on the McFarlane Toys 6 Faces of Madness Jack the Ripper figure. So before we take a look at Jack the Ripper, let's go ahead and take a look at all of the accessories that he comes with. So first up, you get this exquisitely detailed mini diorama base, and this looks so good. The brick wall is textured and painted really nicely. I like how it fades from the black into the light brown right there. You get some nice gray paint over to this side. On the right side, you get this broken window that looks really good. And even the wooden frame on this is sculpted and painted really nicely. And then you look at the bottom right here on the street corner, and it is absolutely soaked with blood. It has some really nice bloody detailing on it. I do wish that the blood would have been just a little bit darker though. I do think the blood paint on this is just a little too bright. But other than that, this base looks incredible. Up next, you get Jack's bag, and this is sculpted really nicely. It's got some really cool texturing to it and some gray paint over top of that black that it's cast in. You can also see fingernail marks on it, like someone was scraping at it trying to get away, and I think that looks really cool. You also get this stream of blood that you attach to the base right here, and this does look a little bit funny. I do think it should have been cast in a translucent red material instead of this bright red color. But I think that looks really cool how you can see the blood soaking through the bag right there and dripping. It would have been cool if you could have opened it and looked inside, but I think it's a lot scarier to leave to your imagination what might be in here. I think that was a good move on McFarlane Toys' part because, as I said, leaving that to your imagination is actually scarier than anything they could have put in here. So there Jack is attached to the base. He has his case in his hand, and the blood is pegged into it right there. And that looks incredible. McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on that. That looks very sick. And finally, he comes with his hat. And this looks really good. The texturing to it looks very nice. You get a dry brushing of gray. It just looks really good. And it stays on his head very nicely. I was surprised at how well this grips his head and doesn't want to fall off. McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on this. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So McFarlane Toys did a very good job at sculpting this head. He looks insanely creepy. You get that scar running down the right side of his face right there. It has some dark red paint down in it. All of his teeth are crooked and have a little bit, it almost looks like a black wash to it. He has some paint variation in the eyebrows right there. He does have a little bit of hair on the top of his head, but it's not painted on. Would have been nice if they would have added just a little bit of paint right there. He also has some lighter skin tone painted over top of the skin color that he's cast in. It gives it a little bit of variation. The hair is also sculpted really nicely. I really like the paint detail that McFarlane put where he's balding right here, where the skin tone starts to fade into the hair and then into the sculpted part. I think that's done really well. I really like how that looks. McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this head sculpt. If you bought the accessory set for the 6 Faces of Madness series, you actually get an alternate head for Jack. I don't have that one, but that one was a masked version if I remember right. McFarlane Toys also did an incredible job at sculpting his outfit. I especially love the attention to the blood on his apron. The splatter on it looks really good. Some of it actually looks like it's still wet, like this really glossy red right here. And then as it fades out into the splatter, it looks darker, like the blood started drying a little bit. That looks really, really awesome. You can also see that they painted his plaid shirt underneath the jacket and apron right here. There's just so much detail in this, it's not funny. Especially here on his coat. The texturing and the paint detail on it looks really good. The brown paint over top of the wrinkles on this coat looks phenomenal. It looks realistic the way it's laying, like the way it lays on his legs back here. It just looks really good. The detail on this thing is crazy. You even get some really nice paint detail on his gloves. They're painted in black and have some gray paint over top of them. You can even see the sculpted texturing and stitch work on his gloves. This one has holes in it, and then you get some bloody paint right there. So that looks pretty cool. The one weird thing about this figure is I think even the package and the promo shots show him with a knife, but he didn't actually come with it. I looked up a bunch of pictures, and to my knowledge, none of the figures actually ever included the knife. So that is weird that all the pictures show him with a knife, but he doesn't actually come with that on the finished product. You also get all of his killing tools right here attached to a real chain on his waist. You get these, I don't know if you'd consider them scissors, knives, a saw. It looks really good. Another weird thing is mine was missing this piece right here. I mean, what are the odds I get this and it's missing this? I believe it was a really long knife is what was attached right here. So yeah, it does suck that mine is missing that piece. But all of these tools look really, really good. And I love that they're actually attached by a real chain. That looks very awesome. And you get some incredible sculpt detail to the pants. The texturing looks really nice. On his right boot, you get a bunch of straps, dry brushing, or wash, I should say, of gray over top of it and some gold for the buckles. There's even brown on the end of his boot. But what really stands out about this figure is he has a prosthetic left leg, and it looks like it's very crudely put together. It's held together by, it almost looks like barbed wire, and various pieces of wood with nails sticking out of them, and then straps. You also get some nice bloody paint on this. So yeah, this thing is exquisitely detailed. McFarlane Toys always goes above and beyond with all of the textures and paint detail and everything on their figures, especially these older ones. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a swivel neck. It can move side to side very slightly. He has shoulders that can move all the way around. And he has a swivel up here in the forearm that can move side to side very nicely. The rest of him is not articulated. I definitely thought they'd at least put some articulation right here at the boot and the prosthetic leg, but no, that's all the articulation you get on this figure, which really doesn't bother me because once you have him all put together on his base, he looks really good. So overall, if you're into the older McFarlane figures, particularly the monsters and the twisted designs that he used to come up with, then I would highly recommend picking this up, because as I said, McFarlane Toys went all out on the detail on this. All the sculpted details, the textures, and even the paintwork, the washes, the bloody detailing, all of it looks very, very good. So yeah, I would highly recommend picking up this figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.